Can implantation bleeding be mistaken for a period or vice versa? And how can I tell the difference?
Hello, and welcome to our discussion on implantation bleeding and menstruation. This is a common concern among women who are trying to conceive. The question we're tackling today is, can implantation bleeding be mistaken for a period or vice versa, and how can I tell the difference? Let's dive right in.
What is implantation bleeding?
Implantation bleeding is a type of light bleeding or spotting that can occur about 6 to 12 days after conception when the fertilized egg attaches itself to the lining of your uterus. It's called implantation bleeding because it occurs as the egg is implanting, or burrowing, into your uterine lining. Important to note, it doesn't happen in every pregnancy, but it's fairly common. Also, it's usually lighter in color, often a light pink or brown, shorter in duration, and not as heavy as a regular period.
What is a menstrual period?
On the other hand, a menstrual period is part of your regular menstrual cycle and occurs when an egg released from an ovary is not fertilized. The lining of the uterus, which grows and thickens in anticipation of a possible pregnancy, then sheds off, resulting in bleeding. This bleeding tends to be heavier, lasts longer, typically 3 to 7 days, and is a brighter red color than implantation bleeding.
How to tell the difference?
It can sometimes be difficult to tell the difference between implantation bleeding and a period, particularly if your regular menstrual cycles are light or irregular. Here are a few key differences. 1. Timing. Implantation bleeding typically occurs before your period is due, about a week after ovulation, while a period would typically start on time. 2. Color. Implantation bleeding is usually lighter in color, often a light pink or brown, whereas menstrual bleeding is typically bright red. 3. Flow. Implantation bleeding is usually quite light and doesn't last as long as a period. Menstrual bleeding is heavier and lasts longer. 4. Cramping. Mild cramping can occur with both implantation and menstruation, but period cramps are usually more intense. 5. Other signs of pregnancy. If you're experiencing other symptoms of early pregnancy, such as nausea, breast tenderness, increased urination, or fatigue, implantation bleeding could be more likely. In conclusion, while implantation bleeding can be mistaken for a period due to its timing and the fact it involves bleeding, there are distinct differences that can help you tell the two apart. If you suspect you may be experiencing implantation bleeding, a pregnancy test or a visit to your healthcare provider can provide further clarity. Remember, each woman's body is different, and what is normal can vary widely. If you have any concerns about bleeding or other symptoms, it's always best to consult with your healthcare provider. We hope this video has been helpful in understanding the difference between implantation bleeding and a period.